Yeah. I'm going to shut up now. There you go. There's for your fucking news cycle. Now go twist all of that around. But just remember, there was women at the show. 4 hotties down front. Faces were not covered. Smoke shows down front. 8,000 citizens is what I performed in front of. And then I had the teachers looking at me while I did it. And I also connected in a country that had just been hit by 2 fucking missiles, 3 missiles, whatever the fuck it was. So, so that's why I'm not answering your shit. Just hang in there for a minute. And when the bots get everybody mad at something else, I'll answer any and all fucking questions.
Alright, so it looks like Bill Burr just responded terribly once again to the controversy surrounding his appearance at the Riyadh Comedy Festival in Saudi Arabia, effectively digging his grave even deeper than it was before. Because this week, instead of acknowledging the core issue that his fans had with him performing there in the first place, he actually just conveniently framed himself as the victim, centering his narrative around how he feels misrepresented in the situation, saying that people are going to spread straight up lies and make the whole thing worse than it actually was. And as you may have guessed, his fans found that to be extremely out of touch, because it tiptoes around what people are actually criticizing him for. Like, people are mad because a guy who built his reputation railing against corporate greed just took a fat paycheck from one of the most repressive regimes on earth. Instead of addressing that, though, he's acting like it's all internet gossip and online outrage. So overall in this podcast, he sounds like a guy who knows he messed up, but can't bring himself to admit it.
Hey, what's going on? It's Bill Burr, and it's time for the Monday Morning Podcast for Monday, August 6, 2025. What's going on? How are ya? Oh, Jesus, how's it going in your neck of the woods there? It's not going so good in my neck of the woods. I'll tell you that. The sanctimonious is sanctimonian. Key word on the monian. Oh, Jesus. All right, here's the deal. You guys are asking me, obviously, a ton of questions about the absolute controversy, all right? Here's the deal. I have no problem answering any of them. The problem I have is after I answer them, it all gets clipped. And then once it gets clipped, then the lies start getting told, or they start shaping it and making it this and making it that. So all I'm doing is just throwing another log on the fire, and then they can make more money. No, I'm sorry. Well, no, because they care so much. That's right. Sorry, not because they're just making money. But I do have to tell you, this is fascinating because I've never been in the middle of one of these fucking things. And my whole life when I watch the news, not every fucking news stories, but there's been a lot of shit where you watch it going like, yeah, I don't know, kind of seems like that kind of fucking. So to finally be in the middle of it and the level of like straight up lies is just, it's wild. And I'll be honest with you, I've been off the internet for like a fucking month, but just the shit people have been sending, it's funny, you get off the internet and people still send you shit. So like these stories of like there was no women there, he just performed to the Royals. By the time they're done with this shit, they're going to say I went over there and did a one-on-one show in a fucking tent staring at my toes and then I left for the head fucking guy, whoever the hell it is over there, right?
It's just so funny how he thinks, just because there were women and civilians in that crowd, that it somehow makes the whole performance A-okay. I mean, surely he's smarter than that, no? The reason people are upset with Bill Burr is because he accepted money directly from the government there, the same regime that's known for executing journalists and criminalizing homosexuality. Like, this is a country where women only recently gained the right to drive, but still face arrest for what they wear or for speaking out online. So when Burr gets on his podcast and shrugs it all off, telling us to relax because there were women there, is just beyond tone deaf and insulting. And fans are extra disappointed because Burr was supposed to be the everyman comic, the guy who stood up for normal people, roasted billionaires like Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos, and called out the powerful for exploiting everyone else. So to just throw that all away for $1.5 million, to accept Saudi state money directly or indirectly, just to do an hour of sanitized stand-up under censorship rules, it's the kind of move that completely undermines his persona.
Once again, I performed in an arena over there. In the round, there was 8,000 people at the show. Okay? It was citizens. And then they had diplomats sitting down front in a nerve-wracking way for the performer to make sure that, you didn't talk about the 2 or 3 things that they said that they negotiated down to not talk about. Once again, as I said before, whoever put together the comedy festival and everything, what it did for freedom of speech over there, because before it started, you couldn't talk about all of this stuff, and then they whittled it down to just that. And that is how, if you truly care about stuff like that, you gradually move towards something more positive. All right?
So what you just heard there is Bill Burr somehow trying to shape his performance in Saudi Arabia as a step towards free speech, which is just completely ironic, since it was directly after he admitted that he was terrified of performing for the diplomats sitting in the front row, who absolutely place censorship rules on the comics' acts. I'm sure you've seen it already, but one of the comics who was set to perform there actually canceled on them and then leaked the censorship contract they sent her, and it had exactly what you'd expect. Comedians weren't allowed to ridicule or embarrass the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, the royal family, or any religion, and were told to submit set lists for review. So when Burr frames that as progress towards free speech, it just sounds ridiculous. It's like claiming you're expanding free speech while performing under the supervision of a government that imprisons people for using free speech. Like this is the same government that once sentenced a woman to 34 years in prison for tweeting about women's rights. And now they're hosting a comedy festival, one that purely exists because they want to look modern to the West while still silencing their own civilians. So yeah, when Bill Burr talks about how the festival was a positive step, it's hard not to roll your eyes, because what it actually was propaganda, and he walked right into it. And then just to make things worse, he actually throws another comedian who performed there under the bus, after mentioning that she was openly gay, which the Saudi government probably didn't even know until now, even if she was open about it publicly elsewhere.
In 33 years of stand-up, I've never seen anybody with bigger balls, and I'm not going to say the name of the comedian, even though you're going to figure it out, but I'm just trying not to get anybody else this fucking shit coming at him. Went on over there, openly gay, and in the middle of the set, 2 of the diplomats got up to go to the bathroom, and this person said, "Hey, where are you going? Are you going to go on Grindr?" I've seen them all. I've never seen anybody. It's like, I don't have the balls to say that. And the fact that her own people came at her and all of that, it's disgusting. It really is. That's what they're going to clip. Bill says fucking the reaction to da-da-da is disgusting. And I'll tell you what else is amazing and really confusing to me is what we did over there wasn't even on TV. However, what everybody's complaining about was on TV the week before on a different event, and nobody said anything. So, and that's the difference between being a billion-dollar conglomerate and being an independent contractor.
And so he was trying to say that they were pushing boundaries there, trying to take credit for being part of some brave cultural moment, but in reality, all he did there was potentially put her at risk. Because again, this is a country where being gay is literally punishable by death. But anyways, Bill Burr goes on to shift the blame onto other people who performed there a week prior. Almost like he's admitting that he knows what he did was wrong, but he possesses an ego that's too big to take any real responsibility for it.
It's kind of like, if you go back to I don't want to talk anymore about it, but like I said, I would love to answer all of this stuff. I'm not afraid of any of these questions. I would love to answer them. It's just that the way that it is being used. And my favorite thing, I did a couple of sets last night, and I didn't run into any of the special ones when I was down there, but I'm really looking forward to that when I do. Because I know this is how this shit goes down, Yada, yada, yada is said over here. And then when you run into the person face to face, this is what's always said. Hey, man. Hey, man. Hey, man. How's it going, man? Just checking in on you, man. Are you doing okay, man? That fucking bullshit. That phony ass bullshit. But I'm not going to lie to you. how do I put this? Do you know when you just sort of, no matter what the behavior is, but you just know a person, so you just expect it, so it doesn't bug you? That's kind of how it is. So I sort of expect that. And, oh my God. Do you know what I did yesterday to fucking calm me down for the amount of bullshit out there? The fucking roast jokes that I wrote yesterday. It was as an exercise. I had a real good time doing that. Okay, but I will toe the line that the reason that,
So overall, in this whole podcast, he comes across as pretty arrogant and wildly out of touch. Like the guy who used to tear apart hypocrisy and ego is now embodying both. And no matter how many jokes he tries to write to calm himself down, or how many times he says people are twisting his words, it doesn't change the fact that he willingly performed for a regime that kills, censors, and terrorizes its own people. And the cherry on top is him trying to laugh it off. And just remember, guys, that this comes just 1 week after he justified his performance there based on the fact that the city of Riyadh had a McDonald's and a Wendy's, which, according to Burr, automatically makes them the exact same as any other Western society.
And we're driving around, and then I'm just like going like, I thought this place was going to be like really tense. And I'm thinking like, is that a Starbucks? Next to a Pete's Coffee? Next to a Burger King? Next to a McDonald's? Next to a Pizza Hut? Next to a Dunkin' Donuts? Next to a Krispy Kreme? Next to a Cheesecake Factory? Next to a KFC? Next to a Chili's? They got a fucking Chili's over here? Then we go into the mall because I want to get my kids something. There was a Timberland store. I could have bought Timberlands like I was in Brooklyn, New York. And then there's advertisement for like boxing and fucking Formula One and MotoGP and golf and all of this stuff. And I was like, oh.
Just some boneheaded takes from Bill Bonesaw Burr himself that are honestly just destroying his credibility even more so than before. And of course it's making his fans drop like flies. Like if you scroll down in the comments there, you can already tell how bad this is for him. Like every single one of them is just piling on top of him. So I just feel like out of everyone on that set list, Bill's gonna feel the repercussions of this performance the most. But with that being said, that is it for the video, guys. Thanks so much for watching.